Hey everybody, Steve Borey here from the Jackpot Gents. I am one half of the Jackpot Gents, and the other half is my son, Matt Borey.
How's it going, everybody? And today we have our slot expert in chief, Josh O'Connell from KnowYourSlots.com. How you doing today, Josh?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me back today.
Always a pleasure. And we've done a few videos with him before where we talk about great slots for low limit players. And we're going to continue into that today. But I wanted to start by congratulating you on your big jackpot you hit. You were just on a cruise. You sent us a picture. It was, what was it, 12,000?
$12,500 on a $1 bet.
There you go. That is what I think all slot players dream of. So congratulations on that. And that's how you know that he knows his stuff on what machines are great for low limit players, because you can win a dollar betting or win 25,000 betting a dollar.
It is
12,500.
helpful to get lucky. I must point that out.
Yes. He
Yeah.
was also
Plays a
very
strong
lucky.
girl.
Yes.
And was that your biggest win ever?
Yeah, by far. I think the biggest before that was something like 2000. So it was by far my
Wow.
biggest win.
Oh, awesome.
That was great.
Congratulations
Yeah,
then.
congratulations.
So
Thank you very
having
much.
said that, let's go ahead and jump into this. What is the slot machine that you have to talk to us today about?
So the Firelink series is sort of what I want to focus on today. There's a number of things that are interesting about them that we're going to get into today, but one is that there's a number of games in the series. So obviously there's the original Ultimate Firelink, and there's been sequels and extensions that have come out since. The most recent of which you've actually played on your channel recently, is Golden Firelink. Each version of the game has usually different themes, but the basics are always the same. There's a hold and spin bonus where if you collect 4 fireballs or more, you get to spin for more. And the unique thing about that, of course, is the fact that the game goes double tall, and you can unlock additional rows, which can have more prizes. So that's kind of unique to that kind of a mechanic. And then there's obviously the free spins, which vary by theme and by game. But one of the consistent things about it is generally you can enter into the game on either a 50 or 75-cent bet. So under $1 for players that want to play at a lower limit. Of course, the game can go into the multiple tens of dollars if you want to play high limit. It's definitely one of those multi-denomination games. So it's really something for everyone in that particular sense.
The reason I like the Fire Link over like the Dragon Link or Lightning Link, the other one, is on Dragon Link and Lightning Link, you need 6 to get into
Yep.
the bonus. So there's a lot of times where you'll have 4, you'll have 5, and you'll be close to the bonus, but you don't get it. And then you end up with all those blockers. So it's much harder to win in the base game. I like the Firelink series a bit better. I swear it's harder to get into the bonus round in Firelink, even though you only need 4. So you don't get into the bonus often, but at least the most you're ever going to have is 3 blockers, instead
Right.
of the other game where you can have 5 dead symbols, because those fireballs or orbs that you need to get into the hold and spin bonus they don't win anything unless you get into the bonus. So I
Right.
like that there's less dead symbols in the Fire Link. So
The other thing too is that Firelink consistently has 4 symbols down on the reel, so it's a 5x4. Lightning Link, Dragon Link, it's 5x3. So not only do you have more blockers, but you have less places for the other symbols to fall. Versus on
mhm.
Firelink, there's a bigger grid, and so that certainly helps in terms of getting around the blockers when they do appear. So that's a nice thing as well. And both game series tend to lean on stacks of wilds, so you still have that ability to get around them if the right symbols appear.
Mhm.
Now we don't play slot machines that often, but we have played Firelink, and when I think of it, I think of like 3 different versions. One was the original, I guess, the original Firelink, and
Mm-hmm.
then there was one with 4 games you could play at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? Do you have any recommendation? Would you say that's a good game to play? The one with the 4 at one time? I
Well,
forget the name of it.
so Power Four is what you're
Powerful.
talking about there,
Okay.
similar to Aristocrats Wonder Four. The thing you have to remember is you're spreading your bet across 4 games, right? So if you get a bonus, the bonus is based on 1/4 of your wager, and so it's just a different way to sort of manage your bets. So for lower limit players, that can be nice because you have 4 chances to get a bonus. It's still a tough game regardless
Mhm.
of how you're playing it, but that can be helpful. But I do personally like the originals and the sequels that have the 50 credit bet, because it is a little bit smaller. You kind of bonus in the same, and this is one of the things I want to get into here is sort of like how they maintain the series to be kind of the same feel as you go through the different versions. But you kind of bonus in the same frequency across the series, so it doesn't really change that. But when you're betting 75 credits versus 50, you're betting 50% more to get to those bonuses. So it can be more of a swingy kind of ride, you know?
And this Golden Link is the latest version of Firelink. Now, I believe that the casino we play at Seminole Hard Rock, we played that game like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and it was new at that time. But I don't think it's really gotten that popular in our casino. I know we have 3 machines in one section, but Matt, have you seen it elsewhere in the casino?
They put in an even newer version of Firelink, the one that's on that screen, the big vertical
the big
screen
tall
that's
one.
like
That's
12
Explosion,
feet
yep.
tall. I did not like that one at all, but that one seems to be more popular. I think that's probably one of the ones you're talking about where it's 75. It might even be $1 minimum bet on that one.
It's a
And
75. Yep.
yeah, and I did not like that one much. It had a lot more features, but the features seemed kind of dumb to me.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely put you have to put more money into it, and that unlocks a wheel, for instance, that can spin a free spins, or a super, the super fire link with the taller, even taller reels that can give you even more chances to build up. Obviously, taking advantage of that very tall screen that they've got. But yeah, Golden Fire Link is more akin to the original in terms of the structure. So, if fans of the original Ultimate Fire Link, that one's going to be it's going to port over very well in terms of what they should expect. So.
Okay, well, going back to Firelink, what are your suggestions? Perhaps at least as far as the kind of bets that people should make on those machines.
Well, the nice thing about it is, like, when you get to nickel, for instance, it's still $1 bet because it lowers the number of lines, and so you have this benefit where, even low limit players can even move up a denomination or two. Like 2 cents is still 50 lines, which is still $1. So you have these options that you can play as a lower limit player that are still very accessible even on a higher denomination. As we've discussed in the past, generally speaking, casinos will reward players that move up to higher denominations with a slightly better payback. So that's a nice side effect of that. So over time, if you're playing in those higher denominations, you should see a little bit better returns for your wagers. But it basically, I think that the nice thing is that there really are a bunch of options. And on the newer versions like Golden Firelink, they've added even more denominations. They added like quarters, which wasn't there before on the original. So you just have more choice. And so bettors may have a better time finding a higher denomination choice that's right for them because there are just simply more choices to pick from. So like, you could do 375 on quarters. If you're a little bit of a higher bettor, that's still pretty accessible compared to like a $10 bet on dollars. So I think that's one thing that's very nice about how they've structured the bet options on this game.
Yeah, I like that it's all of the link games. I feel once you get up to the nickels, it generally drops the number of pay lines.
Yep.
But I like it because it's like you can go from penny to nickel and your bet doubles, but all the progressives up top, the mini, and well, those ones don't move, so they're not technically progressives. The jackpots will go up by 5-fold, but you're only betting twice as much. So that's always cool that I've liked. But I've had bad experience because going down in pay lines, of course, the game is going to get more volatile, I feel, because you have less ways to win, but your wins are going to be bigger. And it's interesting in video poker, I love high volatility. In slot machines, I prefer low volatility. So it's going to be whatever floats your boat, whatever you find better. So yeah. And then I haven't played the quarter one, but I know once you go up to $1, I think it drops even more to like 5 lines or something, right?
So on Firelink, I believe it drops to 10 lines. Quarters on the Golden Firelink is 15 lines, which is why it's 15 credits is 375. So yeah, it's just another option that's built in there. So I kind of like the progression that they've introduced there. I think it's a nice middle ground for those who want to bet up in denomination but don't want to go nuts.
And it's been our experience that because a lot of people bet $5 on a penny denomination.
Yep.
So why you'll get a higher return on the machine if you play a quarter denomination. So, and you can play it for 375. So our suggestion to people who want to play that, if you can afford 375, don't play it on pennies. You have the option to play it on quarters, or even nickels if for $1, because you'll get a better payback percentage.
Exactly. Related to this game too, I did want to share a couple of things that I learned. So last month, as we record this, was G2E, which is the Global Gaming Expo, one of the biggest sort of conferences where you get to see what's coming up. For instance, I did see that there are going to be 2 more themes of Golden Firelink coming out. So Matt, to your point about like you haven't seen a lot, what I tend to notice is like when the next round of themes come out, they tend to put more out. So I suspect that'll be when you'll see some more pop up. on the floor. But I learned a few things. I got to speak to sort of the person who's shepherded this series from its inception through to today, and learned a few things. So, for instance, one of the things that players always want to know: does it really matter? Because when you play Firelink, you have to hit the button to spin during the Firelink bonus. So, does that button press actually matter? Is it predetermined, or is it RNG? And it is indeed RNG. So, the timing of when you hit that button will determine if another fireball lands, if you unlock that next row, all of that. So, it is mathematically sort of structured in a way that, it gets harder as you unlock more and more, but the rewards certainly are there if you do manage to unlock more and more. In the case of Gold and Firelink, it's that spinner. So you actually, in your bonus, were able to get all the way to the top, and there was that bonus spinner.
Yeah, the little wheel thing. Yeah,
exactly. And that's sort of the new feature on Golden Firelink, is adding that.
Which I thought was super cool. I thought that was the coolest part of the machine.
Well, it's sort of brilliant, right? Because she said that previously Firelink was about anticipation of what you're going to get on the fireballs, but then once the bonus is over, the anticipation's over. Now the anticipation extends into the reveal, like, what am I going to get on the spinner? And so that was sort of the idea behind adding them. And I agree with you. I think it's a really cool addition, to make the game just sort of have something a little extra. But the fact that it's not predetermined is really cool, because then as a player that there really is that opportunity each and every time to work your way up the board.
And now I can't remember, is Golden Firelink, that's the one where you can get the spinner on the individual symbol as well,
Yep.
or no? Okay,
yep. The spinners are the sort of the new and shiny in this one. So there's the spinners that can land as a ball. There's a spinner that's at the top. And there's obviously small and big prizes in there. It's going to favor the small prizes over the big, because it's just like the balls, that's assigned. But every once in a while, you will get one of those big ones to pop, and it's very exciting. Another thing that
sure, go ahead.
I got a few things here. So another thing that I learned, you may have noticed that the Firelink bonus, you said it's obviously hard to bonus. The Firelink bonus is certainly tough, but what's even tougher is free spins. I don't even know if you've gotten free spins on your sessions, but I've only had it, I think, once on mine. And apparently that's by design. So Firelink came out after other games like it, that have the hold and spin, like Lightning Link. And if you ever played Lightning Link, you'll notice that you can get the free spins and then just get goose egged. You get like your little prize for landing it, and then pretty much nothing else lands. And players get frustrated by this. Like they really sometimes hate these minimal bonuses. And so the developers of Firelink realize they should make the bonus harder to get, but that way they can actually have more money available in that bonus. And so what you'll see is it's harder to get that bonus, but the bonus has more potential. So there's more opportunities. Like many of the Firelink bonuses, you collect every fireball that lands in that bonus, not just when you get the 4. So you're guaranteed.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I've never made it. I've never made it to the free spin, so I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's really about unlocking more potential by making it harder to get, but knowing that a player will have at least a chance to win something. And so, that's one thing that I thought was really interesting. But it makes sense when you hear it, right? Like, who wants to get a bonus and then like get paid nothing? It's so anticlimactic at that point. But yeah, so that's kind of an interesting thing too.
All right. Well, for this particular machine, Golden Link, and most people out there are going to be penny denomination players. So what's your best advice for those people on this particular machine, Golden Link?
So one thing that's important to keep in mind is even that Firelink bonus isn't the easiest bonus to get. It's going to definitely take some time sometimes to get it. So go into it with an expectation that you should bankroll with that in mind, right? So let's assume it's like 1 in 100 spins, something like that, which seems about right based on my experience. So if you want to try to get, if you're playing for that Firelink bonus and you only put $20 in, that's going to be a minimum of 40 spins on a 50-cent bet, right? So that might make it difficult to get to that bonus because you just simply don't have enough runway, right? So we've talked about this in previous videos where you don't want to under bankroll yourself to the point of failure. So maybe you want to put $40 in or $50 in where you're going to get closer to that 100 or so spins that the average would require. Now, it doesn't guarantee a bonus, right? We know that averages aren't guaranteed. It's like it's not exactly 100 spins to a bonus every single time, but it does improve your chances of getting it. And we know that there's definitely money in that bonus. So once you get it, you should definitely do pretty well.
And I guess one question I wanted to ask is, since we're talking about all these bonuses, you qualify for all these bonuses with the minimum bet, correct?
Yeah, so that's one thing that's nice about the Firelink series. There are other games like the one I won my jackpot on was a great example of it too, which was Eureka Real Blast, where there are some games on the casino floor now that make 5-figure jackpots available on very small bets. And so you can bet as low as 50 credits, 50 cents, and you have a small chance, but you do have a chance of being able to win that mega in this case, which is usually over $10,000. And so, some players who are betting low are smart to choose machines that give them the chances at everything they have available versus like a quick hit where you're not going to unlock those progressives because you're not betting the full max bet that's required to get them. And so, if you're making game choices based on your bets, picking games that give you access to those, even though they may be harder games, is still going to give you a better chance at winning it because you have a chance at winning it, as opposed to ones where you simply don't.
And you're living proof because you got it for your dollar bet.
Really, it was one of those things where all of the things have to happen in the right order, and like every one of these games doesn't make it easy, but like the first step happened, then the second step happened, and then the word grand appeared, and that was that.
Huh. Now you didn't have that videoed, huh? Are you allowed to video on the Carnival?
I recorded the wheel spin that led to the grand appearing, and I did upload it to my soon to launch YouTube channel.
Okay.
My handle on YouTube will be like everything else, Know Your Slots, all one word. But that video is posted. It's 30 seconds, and I just recorded from the time I could spin to see what I won to the time it landed, and definitely was quite the moment.
All right. Well, we're going to look for that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so everybody, make sure you follow him on all of his social media handles. What is it? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all Know Your Slots.
Yep, and soon to be YouTube. All Know Your Slots, one word. And then of course there's the website knowyourslots.com where I post new or updated content every single day. Over 1,250 articles and counting. So lots to work through, but plenty of great information for players who are interested in learning more about these games.
Yeah, and then hopefully, I was going to say, hopefully, everybody watching can go out and do the same thing, hit the grand jackpot on a minimum bet for being a low roller.
I highly recommend it. It's quite the experience.
Yeah, I know Matt and I are going to be trying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Josh, thank you very much for joining us today. And don't forget to hit the like button on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe so you never miss any of those other great videos.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and best wishes for good luck in the casinos.